Money grows, peace can grow. Money that can grow, only money grows.
What's up, YouTube fam? It's your man King Marcel, and we back with another video. With everything that's going on with the war that's going on now in Iran, and the situation is just getting crazier and crazier by the hour. I don't want us to lose focus on why all of this stuff is potentially happening and the manipulation that this government, the extent of the manipulation that this government has taken on the American people to keep us in a state of delusion. Because this is my wholehearted opinions that this war just got started because of the Epstein files, and they just wanted us to get our minds off of that and onto a conflict so that we wouldn't press the issue that our leaders are corrupt and need to be replaced. And I really want us to talk about MK Ultra, because if you don't understand the extent of the MK Ultra program and how it was a brainwashing tool for brainwashing not only the American people but the world, me just stating that I think that this war started because of a sense of to keep us in a state of delusion won't really hit home until you understand the depths of the manipulation that this government will take to keep us not focused on the things that we need to be focused on. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't care about this war. I don't care about none of this other stuff that's going on when we know that files have just came out about children, not just children in this country, children around the world, because it wasn't just our politicians who were in the Epstein files. It was the world's politicians were in the Epstein files. It's like everybody's leadership was a part of this, and it's all being swept under the rug because of the conflict that's happening now. And I want to bring everything full circle so that y'all can understand nothing is separate, and that right now this is going on to get us to not focus on that point. So we about to check out a Jason A video that's going into depth about the MK Ultra program. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so that you're notified whenever I do drop a video here. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, so make sure you guys sub up and join the kingdom. And I'm sorry I'm kind of a little bit all over the place. I just got in from work. I'm a little tired, but I got to bring out this content. I got to make sure you guys are, you know what I'm saying, staying aware and staying on course on where your attention needs to be. I'm not letting the Epstein files go, and neither should none of y'all. Even with all of this stuff that's going on with Iran and that we're potentially going into World War III, I need y'all to understand that we're going into World War III because what just happened with the Epstein files. But let's get right into this video.
The CIA's secret mind control experiments are back in the spotlight. Newly released documents reveal details about MK Ultra, a 1950s program using LSD and hypnosis to study behavior control. Pharmaceutical company Eli Lilly reportedly supplied large amounts of LSD for that project. Some tests were done on unsuspecting Americans, including prison inmates. National Security Archive, marking 50 years since the program's exposure, compared the research to Nazi experiments and criticized the lack of accountability.
The CIA actually has been potentially researching how vaccines could be used for mind control, as well as many other methods. The documents that are circulating around are regarding Project Artichoke. So this says, look, we've got this grand idea of how we're basically going to drug people and do all kinds of weird experiments on them to see if we could control their minds. These documents don't show that anything was actually done. It just shows that we've got these really crazy ideas, and they're extremely unethical, inhumane, terrible, terrible ideas. The 1977 leak of documents say, oh yeah, well actually the government did it. They did all of those terrible things they said they were doing in that previous memo. They did it. And now here's some of the archives that we have from when they did all of those terrible things. So, okay, these documents, Special Research for Artichoke, dated April 21st of 1952. The memo proposes developing long-term covert drugs that could be slipped into daily life. drugs that were, quote, administered over a considerable period of time, possibly being placed in food or water that caused either agitation or depression. These, quote, should include chemicals or drugs that can be effectively concealed in common items such as food, water, Coca-Cola, beer, liquor, cigarettes, etc., and should also be capable of use in standard medical treatments such as vaccinations and shots. We can do all this other experimentation, which nobody will know about. It's sneaky. Sneak it into their Coca-Cola, sneak it into their beer, their cigarettes, their vaccines, their medications. Let's sneak it.
They just put it in everything. And something that I want to bring up too is that think about what happened in 2020 with the, because if you say it for some reason, you know what I'm saying, they block your channel. But we know COVID happened, right? Why was it such a heavy push for everybody to get it? Now understanding what, you know, could have potentially been in it. Especially when we finding out that Epstein had a real big part to play in that coming out. And that COVID, I'm gonna just say COVID, because it's like the fact that this is being blocked should let y'all know this is all a part of this program. They don't want us even speaking on it. We can't even say COVID, but 4 years ago, I said 4 years ago, 6 years ago, it was everywhere. We all had to talk about it. We all had to get the vaccine, right? But now it's coming out that it was potentially an MK Ultra tool to keep people in a state of delusion. And it's so disgusting. And it's like COVID just got swept under the rug. We act like that didn't happen. During that time, I lost my job at the time because I refused to get the vaccine. And that just got scooped under the rug. Are we about to let the Epstein files get swept under the rug? Once this conflict died down, we just gonna sweep this under the rug too? How much are we going to ignore before we understand that we have to do something? That's just my thought process with it. Because it's beginning to be like very heartbreaking. Not the fact that these people are doing it, because we know we've been knowing this government has been corrupt. We've been knowing that all of these governments being corrupt. But my disappointment is coming from the people. We don't have a spine. We just gonna keep letting this shit happen. It's infuriating. It's literally infuriating. It's getting to the point where it's like, man, something got
those wild
to give.
conspiracy theories.
The CIA also made sure most of this would never be seen by the public, destroying most of the files. They were torn and burned just days before the head of the agency was fired by then President Richard Nixon for refusing to help cover up Watergate. Beyond just mind control, declassified documents show the agency also chased a dark tool, discrediting, using drugs like LSD to make someone look insane, then watching the world turn on them.
They were experimenting on American citizens. I hate conspiracy theories that run amok. But you know, a former CIA director is the one who came up with the term conspiracy theory to discredit people by making them sound like crazy people, when in fact, there was such a thing called MK Ultra, Operation Grasshopper, or MK Chickwit. You know, the CIA did crazy stuff from roughly 1952 to 1975. The Chinese told us in like 1951 that the Russians were using LSD to try to engineer it to be used as a mind control drug. That was disinformation. The truth was the Russians had no LSD program. The Chinese did. So they tried to throw us off the scent by blaming the Russians. We panicked. And by 1952, we started this program called MK Ultra, which began by using LSD experimentally. They started by dosing their own employees without telling them. Several committed. One jumped out of a hotel window.
Dosing them with what?
LSD.
With the hope that...
See if we can control them, see if we can plant memories that didn't actually happen. Then they decided, no, it's not a good idea to dose our own people. Let's just dose strangers out in public. So they went to San Francisco, rented a safe house. They hired to go out on the street, pick up Johns, people who hire, bring them back to the safe house, dose the Johns with LSD and just see what happens. But I mean, these are like serious
consequences,
crimes you're committing.
And think about the Manson murders. Literally, Charlie Manson said he was a CIA operative who was told to give those kids the LSD and to see the effects, to see if they would actually listen to him. We all thought he was nuts all of these years. But they come to find out that's exactly what the drug was created for. And based off of what he said he did, it was the MK Ultra program. He literally brainwashed kids with LSD to do what he wanted them to do, and they did it. Why? Why? We have to start asking these questions and stop just naming people nuts, because just calling people nuts has been just swiping this under the rug since then. Since all the way back then. When was the Manson murders? Let me look that up. When did the Manson murders happen? When did the Manson murders happen? That was in 1969. This is back in the 1960s. He literally said he was a CIA operative. Oh, he's nuts. He's crazy. But now we hear in 2026, and this is being said as clear as day on a podcast. But yet y'all are still using the term conspiracy theorists when most of the conspiracies have been proven true, especially with the Epstein files coming out. And this fact, nothing still is being done. People are still carrying on like everything is normal. Like, my God.
Against people.
The CIA
what is it going to take?
Workers to lure men to safe houses where agents drugged them and then watched them through one-way mirrors and recorded their behavior.
Exactly.
They tried to erase their personality.
Nice, huh?
The goal was often to break and rebuild the human mind. In 1973, the CIA director ordered mass destruction of the MK Ultra files.
That day, he testified before the church committee. The church committee specifically told him, do not destroy any documents. He went back that afternoon to the CIA and said, destroy everything.
Why?
Because it was damning. They were experimenting on American citizens. They were experimenting by spreading diseases in American cities. He was fined like $150.
Like when the black people in that apartment complex all was diagnosed with, what was it? It was AIDS and something else that they was literally just spreading in the African American communities. All of this fell under the MK Ultra program and programs like it. And when people were talking about these things, that word just kept being thrown on it. Conspiracy theories, conspiracy theories. These are conspiracy theories. No factual proof of any of this. But it all was true. And what did we do? We went back to sleep. I won't allow y'all to go back to sleep peacefully this time. I won't.
$50.
This channel won't.
And about 15% of the documents were overlooked and survived. We'll never know exactly what happened under MK Ultra.
This is a special 10 News Plus program.
Disgusting.
We've seen the meltdowns when kids are pried away from screens, but frightening new data shows those devices could be causing deeper problems. Tonight, the experts call to radically change the rules.
I'm sorry, but you can't have an iPad. Okay, but eat.
Bob told us that they were going to test the alien craft that night.
Sorry about that.
As parents, we already know it. Excessive screen time, excessive emotion. But what if it's much worse than that?
Why would you even, and for these new parents, why would any of y'all think it was a good idea to give these babies cell phones? Because you too busy to be a parent? Even with my own family, I watch my brother and not just my brother, my cousins, all of them having kids, and how they just give these kids these electronics. We went outside and played. And now I watch these kids grow up with these phones, with these tablets, seeing all these colorful cartoons. It's the modern day MK Ultra being willfully done by our own. We gotta get out of this current status quo, because it is nothing but detrimental to all of us. And I'm sorry I'm coming off so angry, and then I'm coming off so irritated, but it's like, y'all not tired of this shit? Genuinely, y'all aren't tired on how this current society is moving? Because where are we going as a society? What do we think is going to come from all of this? It's like we waiting for an AI overlord to come, create some damn cyborgs, and put us all in the ground. Because that's where we heading if we continue down this path. I won't keep.
Can you see the screen all right?
Yeah. This is 5-year-old Rose. She was one of 60 kids to undergo an exhaustive study in the US, using an MRI machine to scan the brains of kids aged 3 to 5 years old. The results, truly shocking. Interactive screen time causes a loss of white matter in the brain.
Well, in the simplest terms, we could actually refer to it as some measure of brain impairment or brain damage.
Professor Mike Nagel from the University of the Sunshine Coast has spent a career studying child brain development.
So white matter in the brain is a material called myelin. So what myelin does is it wraps around the axons of neurons and acts like an insulator, a conductor, not too dissimilar to the plastic coating of a wire. So if we're seeing deficits in myelin production early in life, we're probably seeing deficits in neural connectivity.
The study shows the more screen time a child is exposed to, the greater the loss of white matter. Can you remember your first reaction to those results, not only as a professional in this field, but as a father?
My gut reaction was, wow, I was not anticipating seeing anything like that. It hadn't occurred to me at the time that something as little as, and it said 2 hours a day, was having such a profound effect on the white matter associated with sort of language development. And by association, literacy, it was a shock, to be honest.
He also believes big data.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. It's great to finally see you.
Good to see you as well. Thanks for your patience.
Professor Hutton is a man in demand. It was his research that proved the link between screen time and the loss of white brain matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the elephant in the room. It's such a, to me, an obvious relationship.
John, what is your fear if we don't address it?
The fear is just losing a generation of kids, just kids growing up not meeting their potential, the continued rise in self-harm and body image disorder, anorexia, bulimia.
Smoking causes mouth cancer.
The professor believes screen time will be what smoking was to a previous generation.
For decades, we pretended like smoking, everyone kind of knew that it was probably harmful, but the industry pushed back and said, no, it's not. I think the same thing is going to come down the road for devices, but I think we are at risk of really having a lot of kids and a whole generation that's going to struggle unnecessarily.
As a parent, there are already more than enough dangers to navigate, but clearly screen time is something we need to pay attention to. So what should the guidelines be? How much of this is too much? In fact, is there any safe limit at all?
So what is the balance, Mike? What is the right balance?
Well, that's the $1 million question. There really isn't any necessity for a child from 0 to 8 to be using screens on a regular basis.
The advice from our experts: no devices in the bedroom, no devices at mealtime, that's adults included, no interactive screen time for any child up to the age of 5. For older kids up to 12, no more than 30 minutes a day. Limits for teenagers? Well, that's easier said than done, right? But fear not, there are more extreme options.
20 seconds, sir!
If they knew full well what they were in for, they got a bit of a rude shock.
Well, how about being parents? That's what I applaud to all of y'all, because we wonder why people's attention span is so small. Not just these kids, with adults too. It's because everybody is glued to this phone. And my thing is that this thing is literally a supercomputer at the palm of my hands. We can learn so much. This can be a beautiful tool that we can use to help change the world. But we are using it in a way for MK Ultra to succeed in its mission by dumbing us down. Don't let this current war be used as an MK Ultra tool as well, and throw you off from the things that are truly important, which is these children. The children are the future. And if we fail them today and we keep knocking the can down the road, the road will disappear. It won't be a road to keep kicking the can down. We are at a focal point, I feel like. I feel like we are at a point where it's either do or die. We have to make a change. But you guys let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. Do you guys think I'm overreacting? Hey, I just had a long, stressful day. That's probably a reason why I got this attitude, but I know it's not. It's this. I hate that I have to come home and I have to tell this to people that should know better. We all should know better, and we all should be doing better, especially after what we found out is going on with these kids that's going missing every year. We can't keep dropping the ball on this. But make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so that you're notified whenever I do drop a video here. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, so make sure you guys sub up and join the kingdom. But with that being said, King Marcel out. Peace.
Always alive, looking for the prize. That's eternal life, and bringing the change in my mind. Talking real peace of mind.